What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another live preview. Obviously, this week, Shrewsbury at home. Make sure to drop the stream a like, subscribe if you're new as well. This week we've got Josh, Jake, and Lewis on the channel. How's it going, lads?
Very well, thank you.
Good, thank you.
Good, mate.
First of all, I'll start with you, Josh. What was your thoughts on Tuesday's defeat?
I don't think we got enough time in the day for all my thoughts, but it's just been the same story pretty much all season, especially at home. But it was we had to win that game. It was a must-win game, a relegation 6-pointer, really, if we're like looking at it. And flattered to deceive. We went a goal behind again, 2 set pieces. It's all about game management, and we're really poor at that at the moment. But I drew some encouragement with the fact that we've seen some positive changes earlier in the game to actually influence it. So if that's the sort of the way in which Byron's going to operate and what we're going to see going forward, then at least we've got that encouragement that Byron's willing to make changes early on to influence the game. But not acceptable really to lose. And I think Byron probably saw how big the task is Tuesday. But there we go.
Yeah, completely agree. Jake, what was your thoughts on the game?
I've definitely seen worse. In a few games that we have actually played well this season, that certainly wasn't one of them. Obviously, our Achilles heel is set pieces. Every time we concede a set piece, you might as well just turn off and go home. So how poor we've been. I think it's 29 goals we've conceded from a direct from the set piece, so not including the second phase of play, like the first goal on Tuesday. It's just not good enough. And I know the manager's just come in, and not sticking this on him, but we've had this problem all season long, and the fact that it's still a problem, 2/3 into the season, it baffles me completely. I can't get my head around it.
Yeah. Again, completely agree. It needs to change. With the set pieces. Lewis, we'll go with you. What was your thoughts on the Wigan defeat?
Probably the word to sum up was probably lackluster. I think we were supposed to go out there and give them a right beating, but just didn't happen. I think a few interesting, choices and team selection, team play ups, and he hasn't really done a lot for me. Especially over the last year. Well, since Coffer left, he hasn't really done much for me. Rodman, he's not the same as he used to be. What we saw in Shrewsbury and his first season at Rovers, but we didn't win the game. We had about 12 shots, and probably should have put them in the story of our season, really.
Yeah, that's been the main downfall. Right, we're gonna bring in Chiz. I don't know if he can hear me, but BRFC Fanti is gonna come on. I'll quickly get him in now. How's it going, Chiz? You're muted, by the way.
Sorry. Yeah, not bad. Yourself?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. What's your thoughts on the game on Tuesday? Obviously, we went over it yesterday, but let us know.
It's like you said on my stream last night. Different manager, same problem, innit? To be honest, the defending isn't good enough. The attack, we're not finishing enough chances. It's just the same problem, and it's dire to watch as well. The football isn't good enough, and I think Barton really has a massive mountain to climb to keep us up.
Yeah, completely agree. By the way, if any of you have the stream on, can you pause it if any of you have the stream on, because there's here back.
I don't know if that's me, mate. I'm just trying to get onto the laptop now. Could I leave you guys and then just hop back in about a minute's time on the laptop?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure.
All right, cool. Cheers. Thanks.
But I've got a question here from Josh Seaborn. Let's get it up. What do you guys think of Byron Anthony going to Swansea doing academy coaching role? I mean, to be honest with you, I didn't even know he went to Swansea. I heard on Twitter that he's left Rovers, but yeah, what's your thoughts on that, Josh? You're muted.
That'd be why then. Yeah, you can't really stop a bloke from progressing in his career as such. He did his sort of understudying at Newport, then he got his opportunity here. He's only been with us I don't even think he's been with us a year. Whether or not we're going to have a sort of backroom change around and with Barton's influence or not, and he saw that and left, or whether or not he sees Swansea, they're on the verge of Premier League football potentially. Got a really good academy, and he's going to be working between the sort of under 23s and the first team. So it's a massive opportunity for him, and what he offered us on the pitch when he was a player, you can't really deprive him of that opportunity.
Yeah, I completely agree. What about you, Jake? What's your thoughts on Anthony going to Swansea?
Yeah, pleased for the lad. It's a chance for him to develop his coaching career. It's a shame he had his playing career cut short because he was one of those players I thought for Rovers was let go too soon. Could have done a job for us longer than he did. But in terms of coaching, yeah, I'm pleased he's able to kick on, and yeah, all the best to him.
Yeah, agree. What about you, Lewis? What's your thoughts on it?
I'm not recall much of him, but it might see a domino effect now, like a few more backroom staff leaving because of what Barton's brought in. Maybe it might affect the wage cap or anything, but yeah, I don't really have much to talk about on that one. But
yeah, because obviously we still got all the staff from the previous regime, so there's a whole like 10, 11 aside you could probably put together through that. But next up, I've got one question to ask all of you just before we continue. I'll start with you, Josh. Will we stay up? Do you have much belief?
What sort of questions are? My belief is fading each week I see us play. I don't think we will, personally. I don't think it's going to be through lack of effort in terms of our new management. I think he's going to do everything in his power to change that, and he sees them on the training ground each and every day and seems to have this confidence that we don't. After Wigan, probably weren't best talking to me because I was like most of you just completely sort of peed off with it all. But I can't see us staying up personally.
Yeah, Jake, what about you? Do you have any faith?
It ultimately just depends on what Rovers team turns up week to week. Because in my heart of hearts, I still think we've got enough there to stay up. Whether we'll actually play to our abilities and actually remember how to play football, completely different question. I think like I said, I don't believe our squad is a bad squad overnight. I think it's certain to say that quite a few of those players haven't performed. Like we shouldn't single out names just yet. There are players in that team who should be doing a lot better than what they are. I kind of want to stay up sort of as a collective group because Barton's got his critics coming in. If he doesn't keep us up, then the critics will just ring louder and louder. There's a collective effort. The club, not actually in terms of footballing wise, has to stay up, but financially as well. If Rovers go down financially, there's a massive impact on the club.
Yeah, completely agree. Lewis, what about you? Do you reckon the gas to stay up?
Look at on paper, this team, majority of the team would be playing for promotion if you look on paper, but you don't play football on paper, do you? So I think you've got some underperforming players in there. I think Westbrook's been pretty under. He's come in big name, big money, price tag, and yeah, we got some good players in there, but it's just been, I think it's been common all season, just poor defending, and he didn't really replace GCH properly. But I think we do have enough in the building to stay up, and I think it's not performance now, it's just points. You will take a scrappy 1-0 win now. Just make sure you're picking up them points.
Yeah, completely agree. That is what we need to start doing. Chiz, what about you? What's your thoughts? Do you still have the belief?
Well, I agree with what everyone said about our financial status if we go down and stuff. With our remaining fixtures, it does look a bit doom and gloom. We've got some really hard games in there. Also, the likes of Swindon being postponed, that catches up with the games being played. Heavy fixture list. I'm going to sit on the. I don't know. I think, I'm really torn on it. I think we could pull it out of the bag if Barton gets some confidence into those players, but overall, I'll say I don't really see it. Yeah, I can't see it staying up really.
Yeah. I mean, it is going to be hard, but like Lewis said, we're going to have to scrap for games. I think a lot of games are must wins. Like I said on your channel last night, Chiz, I think we need to win at least half of the games we got left. So that's 9 out of 18 or 9 out of 17 at least. But like you said, we've got some really tough games as well. Got a question here from Riley Clark. Anyone know about Yakola injury updates? Well, apparently he should be back within the next week. I think that's what Sam Frost, when he does his normal Bristol Live, said. And also Hanlon, we'll go with you, Josh. What's your thoughts on Hanlon? Apparently, he's touch and go for the weekend. I mean, if it was you, would you rest him anyway, or if he's okay to play, would you start him?
I think it's all down to sort of what the manager wants, really. He did his little psychology, reverse psychology in the week, where he he actively praised him and tried to get a reaction out of him for this weekend. But on form alone, I would have probably gone with Jonah anyway. Barton likes his width, so he's always going to have width, and then like a sole centre forward. So if you're looking at a centre forward, Hanlon doesn't fit that bill for me. He works well in a front two or works in a front three, wide left, wide right. So I would have probably played Jonah anyway, or Daly in some capacity, but the more chances he misses, you almost want to take him out of the limelight, because it ain't getting any better, and we're getting punished because of it. There's what was it, 17 shots on Tuesday, failed to convert. I mean, we scored 1 goal, and then we get punished just like we did at Gillingham, created all those chances, and we get punished. So it's just a running theme really, and unfortunately Brandon Hanlon's been there like a mainstay for most of it. So if that was to take him out of the limelight, and he ain't like 100% like you say, I wouldn't risk him at all.
Yeah, completely agree. What about you, Jake? Would you play him if he was all right to play, or would you change it up top?
It's a tough one. I know it sounds a bit more of an obvious answer, but Hanlon does provide. I think all of our strikers, they do provide something a little bit different. But Hanlon's just so off form at the moment, and I think if he's not fully fit, then don't play him, because if he's not fully fit and he plays, there's a chance he's going to aggravate whatever injury it is. I think Ayunga's probably a better bet to start, and I think maybe along up top with Daly. So if he's fit, play him, but if he's not there, then best just leave him on the bench. He's played, I think as Josh said, he's played pretty much all the games this season. He's probably burned himself out. I know he's played sort of 40 odd appearances each season for Gillingham and so on, but I doubt he's played them all first to 90th minute. So I think he just needs a bit of time out of the team, if I'm honest.
Yeah. Lewis, what about you? What's your thoughts on the situation? Would you bench him or would you start him if he's okay to play?
We've got 17 odd games coming up. You don't want to play him for this one game and then risk him for the whole season. I'm not sure what it is actually, what's wrong with him, but I reckon we've got two decent strikers in Daly and a younger fit enough to come in and do the job. Like Jake said, they all offer something different. Daly's more of that poacher striker, and Younger's kind of that target man, but he's good with the ball at his feet as well. Yeah, I think Hannon. I think next season he could probably get 15 goals. He's got the potential in him, but it's just like fine tuning him a bit. He does tend to miss some easy chances. And he's always chasing his touch most of the time. But give him the ball at his feet, and he causes players problems. So yeah, I just probably put him on the bench for this week and give Younger a go because he did have an amazing game against Gillingham, but did have a really good game at Portsmouth. But yeah, they are a physical team. So it'd be a good chance for a Younger or Daly to come in.
Yeah, definitely. And also just to say, I'm pretty sure the thing that's wrong with him is he's got a sore Achilles. I'm pretty sure that's what it said on Bristol Live. So I think obviously we just have to wait and see what he goes with. Chiz, what about you? If he was okay to play, would you play him, or like the others, would you just start a Younger or Daly?
I think with Iunga, it's about, it's a bit like the Geordie situation which we were talking about last time I was on your live on Friday. We were talking about the Geordie situation. It's just like, to give player a confidence, you've got to keep playing them. And we saw against Plymouth how good Geordie was after starting him a few times. You play Iunga a bit, does really well against Portsmouth, but then he's left out the starting lineup for a bit, I think, wasn't he? Again, was he starting against Gillingham? I'm not sure. But still, I think he's got to be played consistently to start banging in the goals. We can see what he can do against like the likes of Portsmouth and stuff. So I would play Iunga up top with Daly simply because I think it's not fair to keep playing Hanlon when he's not scoring goals. It's like the Tom Nichols situation. Not as bad yet, but he's got to score goals soon.
Yeah, completely agree. I think even if he is fit to play, I think I'd just bench him because, like you said, Shrewsbury are quite like a physical team. Got two big centre backs, and obviously now it's 13 games without his last goal. The last goal coming in that 2-1 win at home to Blackpool. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what goes on. Next up, we'll go on everyone's thoughts on obviously Shrewsbury. Josh, what's your thoughts on them so far? Obviously, they've done well since Cottrell's come in. And yeah, what's your main thoughts about Shrewsbury?
I think if you're a team struggling for confidence, it's probably one of the last teams you want to be playing right now. They've been amazing really under Cottrell's stewardship. I know he was in intensive care and struggling with COVID, but him and his backroom staff like Aaron Wilbraham and they've done really well to sort of steer the ship. Well, Cots has been away, but the influence he has, you can just see like they've gone to a 4-3-3. They're on the front foot. I think it's their best ever start as a Shrewsbury manager, and he's only lost one game in his tenure. I mean, I think they lost another, but he wasn't involved in the management because he was that ill. So yeah, the record speaks for itself really, and to play a Bristol Rovers side that are struggling to convert chances and struggling at the other end is quite a daunting prospect really.
Yeah, completely agree. Jake, what's your thoughts on how they're doing so far this season?
Yeah, to be fair, they've recovered themselves well over the last 10 or 12 games since Cottrell's come in. Like I said, a lot of that time he's spent in hospital, and I think we could all probably say that we're pleased he's on the mend. But yeah, they're a real pain to play against. They haven't particularly lost many games all season in general. I've just had a quick look. A lot of their issues have been draws, which is why they're sort of in the bottom third. They've always been a pain to play against us in recent years. I was just looking at the calendar. It was this weekend last year when we played Shrewsbury at home. We lost, I think it was 1-0. And they've always been quite a physical side. They were quite difficult to play against earlier on in the season when we beat them there. And to be fair, they probably deserved something earlier on in the season when we played them. So it's going to be difficult. I mean, I'll take anything we can get. I mean, normally I would say I take a point, but with how the results are, in and around where we are, we've got to be trying to look for all three. But it's going to be a bit risque, I think.
Yeah, definitely. And obviously, like you said, the last time we did play them, finished 1-0 to Rovers with I think it was a Westbrook assist, and then I think Hanlon got there before the keeper and headed it in before he got clattered. But yeah, like you said, it was even tough there. I remember they hit the post a few times. I think Emer cleared one off the line. So yeah, it's going to be tough. What about you, Lewis? What's your thoughts on Shrewsbury without giving a score prediction?
I think look back at all the Shrewsbury sides played in the past. They're quite a hard team to break down everything. Likes of a go back in the day for them. He really good for them. Rodman, I remember him coming on. Taking it from the byline and scoring it from there. But yeah, I think this season, Shrewsbury had a quite a poor start under Ricketts, and then they made some good signings in the summer. You got like Chapman and Main. Yeah, they hit the ground running straight away. But yeah, they're always a difficult side to beat, and we didn't deserve anything from that game. Against them earlier on. We got absolutely dominated. I think probably only 3 chances we had in the game. We scored from, and then we had Amer clearing off the line. They just kept coming at us. But yeah, that was the story of Bengal really. But yeah, they are a good team. They got some good threats up front, especially.
Yeah, I completely agree. And obviously, like everyone said so far, the run they've been on since Cottrell's come in has been crazy. And obviously, the player which is in the thumbnail as well, Chapman, he's been class for them. I've talked to a few Shrewsbury fans about him, and they said that he's been class since he's coming on loan in January. Chiz, what about you? What's your thoughts on Shrewsbury and how they're doing this season?
Well, obviously they didn't start very well, like us at the beginning of the season, but they've turned it around. New manager has enabled them to start winning. They scored 4 on the weekend against MK. Are going to be coming into it really confidently, like everyone was saying. Necessarily, we didn't really deserve the points last time we played them. I think they could have got something out of that. Their confidence is going to be really high. Ours, the opposite. I just think I can't see us getting much out of it, to be honest. I think we might get smacked, but don't want to look up on it that negatively. So maybe we can get something out of it, but I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean, let's just pray that it's not like the game. What was it, a couple of years back now? I went to it. We lost 4-0. That was one of the worst away games I've ever been to. And I think Rodman scored that game as well. I think we was 4-0 down in the first half. But yeah, hopefully it's better. Next, obviously, people in the chat, if you've got any more questions for us to answer, don't forget to put them in. Like the video. Thanks for 24 of you watching at the moment. Appreciate that. Next up, we'll go with our lineups. Josh, what would be your starting 11 for Saturday?
I wouldn't change it too much from Tuesday. I think Williams probably warrants a place. I think he did okay. I think Harry's I dropped for Baldwin. And then Lee, he's probably stays in the team because he's captain. I play Grant, McCormack, and I would probably go with Westbrook this week. I thought when he came on in midweek, we started creating, and he looked like he was eager on the ball, which we hadn't seen from him for a while. And then I would go with the sort of front three: Nicholson, Ayunga, and Daly, or Nicholson, Ayunga, and Rodman. I suspect it will be. It just gives us that natural width and stops us getting doubled up on, especially against a 4-3-3. Yeah, I go with Vayunga. If Handa's not fit, I'd probably go with Vayunga anyway. I'm not sure if we'll go unless Barton wants to sort of close up shop a little bit and go 5 in midfield. But I'd match him up again like he did on Tuesday, and sort of right those wrongs that we had Tuesday, and trust the players to get a reaction.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Jake, what about you? Would you keep this? Would you keep the same sort of formation, or would you change it up a bit?
I'd echo what Josh said there. I think a 4-3-3 is probably one of the better formations we have for the players we've got. I'm not sure if Harry should be starting. To be fair, I think if you look across the centre back options, regardless of who you put in there, it's a question mark. Even Kilgore, I think he's not been on form this season. There, people say it's because Craig's not there, but yeah, defensively, kind of picking straws you put in there. But I think playing Grant in that three with Westbrook and McCormick, I think would be a good idea in the midfield. And it's just, I think as long as we give it a go and trying to be a bit more attacking, I think that's all we can hope for. And hopefully a good front three of Rodman, Ayunga, and Nicholson, that hopefully would be enough to get some goals in the back of the net Saturday.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Lewis, what about you? Would you go with the 4-3-3 as well, or would you change it up?
Well, I think if you look how Bison set up at Fleetwood and stuff, he liked his wingers getting wide and his fullbacks getting high, and you always had that that target man centre forward to get on the end of everything. But yeah, in goal, obviously Joe Day, I'd give Jordy a go. He's probably not far away from being a first teamer, but not a Rovers. But I think Williams, he's been steady. He never makes a mistake. Put some decent balls into the box. I think Josh Hare, I don't really see a return for him. Really, I don't think he hasn't been in many except from Gardner's plans, but not many starts or anything. But yeah, and then I think if Baldwin's fit, you've got to give him a go because I think he is definitely a confidence player. He said it in the Sunderland documentary and stuff. Put him alongside Kilgore. I think Kilgore is what he did last season, but I think ultimately, Garner kind of ruined him a bit with all the passing football out from the back. He wasn't really himself. And then I think left back, probably Leahy. He's probably been one of our better players this season. He's had some of a renaissance under Tisdale. He's back to his best. Well, if he ever had a best, but yeah. And then free midfield, Josh Grant. I think came with a lot of scrutiny like earlier on in the season. I think he's grown into that role with experience now. He's putting his body about, and the last few games has shown that. I think Wigan, he was amazing against Portsmouth as well. And then I think with Barton mentioning he liked Westbrook, I think you got to start his best. And then I'll probably go obviously McCormick. I'd love to have him on a permanent in the summer, but that'd be my free midfield. But then Robin hasn't really been cutting it recently for me. I think he's not the same as he was at Shrewsbury or the first season, when he's scored a load of goals for us. But he just lost that yard of pace, So I'd probably start Nicholson on the right. Yeah, I think he had an awful game against Wigan. We know what he's capable of. And probably younger up front, because I think with Daly, I think he's one of that poacher and he can't really play up front on his own as such. I think he's got to be up there with a second striker, playing off him. And the left wing, I think Oztumer, because I think against Oxford, I know we got battered by them. They took the chances, but I think you've got to give him a go. We're still yet to see his best. You got to remember he was amazing for Walsall a few years back. But yeah, start him on the left because he wasn't too bad when he played in the midfield 5 a few weeks ago against Oxford. So yeah, just give him a go again.
Yeah. I mean, I think Oztumer would be really good, to be honest, because like like Rodman. He's just too slow, and he doesn't really have that end product, and But yeah, Chiz, what about you? What would you go for?
Um, yeah, I'll go forward at the back. I've seen a lineup in the chat, Harry, which I really like. Which is probably what I'd go for. Maybe, yeah, Day, Williams, Kilgore, Harris, Leahy as the back four. I agree with that. Yeah, totally agree with that. Based on performances recently, Grant, Zane, and Maka. Maybe just change Zane for Otzuma. Maybe. I really think we could, on his day, Oztuma is brilliant, the creativity and everything. Alongside Grant, that could really work. He's got I can't remember what the word is for Grant. But yeah, and then his defensive play, Grant could work really well with Oztuma's attacking creativity. He could have a balance, and then we know what McCormick's capable of. He's been brilliant recently all round. And then yeah, Nicholson, Iyengar, and Daly would be my preferable three up top. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds good. I mean, to be honest, I'd probably go with the same team that I've got up on the screen. What Harry said. Apart from I'd take Harry's out and put Baldwin in. I still don't really. I thought Harry's had a good game against Portsmouth. I thought he was at fault for the first Wigan goal because he wasn't in his actual position. But yeah, I'd probably go with that. I'd probably play 4-3-1-2. And then have Nicholson just behind Iyengar and Daly. I think because I think we need two up front. I think two up front is just better. I think the players link up much more. To be honest, but yeah. Also, what else we got in chat? People. But yeah. Now, gonna go with score predictions. Josh, we'll start with you first. You feeling confident for Saturday?
Absolutely not. No, I'm not at all. If like I said earlier, if you want to play a team that isn't on such a good run as Shrewsbury, when you're sort of wanting a reaction from losing to Wigan, but no, I can see. I've seen more. I've seen surprises watching Rovers for 20 odd years. So nothing would surprise me more than Rovers pulling out of, a result out of their ass like they've done when you write them off against the sort of lower teams and then they, produce against the better sides. But Shrewsbury are only 8th from the bottom of the table. So funnier things have happened, but no, I can see us losing. I'd say 2-1 Shrewsbury.
2-1 Shrewsbury. Yeah. I mean, hopefully not, but yeah, we'll see. Jake, what about you? Are you feeling more confident, or do you reckon we'll get beat, or maybe even get a point?
No, I don't. I feel like Josh is reading my mind because he said a bit exactly the same what I was going to say just now. I was going to say 2-1. I mean, who I think is going to score for us, I have no idea. I think that's just more hope rather than expectation there. I'd love to say that we could get 3 points, but I just can't see it. So I'm going to go with the Shrewsbury 2-1 win there. But I think that's just looking at it from looking from more of a neutral side. As a Rovers fan, obviously you want to get the 3 points, but I just can't see it. Regardless of how you sort of positive, I try and look at it. I just can't see us getting anything tomorrow.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. Like it's like we've said this stream. We have so many shots, we just can't score. We haven't got that out and out goal scorer. You can't go and get rid of Clark Harris and bring in like a player that's got no more than 8 goals in a season. So yeah. Also, people in chat, make sure you leave your comments as well. We'll get to them after we've all done ours. Lewis, what about you? Are you feeling confident, or are you going to go for a Rovers loss as well?
I think my heart's telling me one thing, my brain's telling me another. But I honestly think we can scrape a 1-0 win. We just need one. We just need a penny to drop for us. Really, just one of them. We need a shot to go in. Yeah, just for us. For instance, and Clark Harris used to get angry. Used to hit it. We don't really have any of them players that are shooting from the edge of the box. We always seem to try and work it into the box. For instance, I remember when Clark Harris just hit it from a mile away and then generally gets a little lucky touch on it, and then turn the tide a bit for us there. I think I think 1-0 win would be amazing. We get into this point in the season now. We're just starting to picking up points. A point's not bad. 1-0 would be my prediction.
1-0, yeah. I mean, I'll definitely take that. I mean, like you said, we need to be picking up wins. I mean, it's all right getting a point, but really, obviously, like most of us would have said before the Wigan game, that we need at least 2 wins out of these 3 games, and so far we've got a loss, and really we need to be winning against Shrewsbury and Burton to have sort of get the confidence up. Chiz, what about you? Are you feeling confident or bit?
Well, I
negative?
think anyone feeling confident would be a bit. I mean, it's good to be positive and going into every game thinking, we can get something out of this. Like, everyone was expecting us to get smashed against Portsmouth, but then we, pulled something off there. Like, you could expect us to just suddenly turn up. Barton gone absolutely crazy at them all in training and said, you're letting the fan base down, etc., etc. And maybe the players will be scared for their role in the team in future fixtures to come because of Barton absolutely going mental at them, and being ruthless with his decisions. So, you know what? But at the same time, with our form, you can't really say that we're going to go and smash Shrewsbury here. So, and with their form, it's not looking likely that we're going to pick anything up, is it? So I'm going to say 2-1 Shrewsbury, but see what happens.
2-1 Shrewsbury as well. So we got 3 2-1 defeats and a 1-0 so far. I'm going to even it out a tiny bit. Like I said on Chiz's channel last night, I'm not really feeling that. But, I want to be quite optimistic. So I'm going to say a 2-1 win. I'm going to go. Well, last night, like I said, Hanlon to score, didn't I, Chiz? But obviously, I don't think he'll start. He might be on the bench. So I'm going to go. McCormick again and Ayunga. But what we got in chat, we got Harry Jenkins has gone for a 2-1 Rovers win. Don't know what's going on with my connection. What is going on with my laptop? So yeah, there we go. 2-1.
Okay.
Gas, Ayunga, and Daly. 2-1. Shrewsbury, said Robert Brailsford, own goal to score for us. Oh God. Wayne
That'd be
Clark
Rovers all over.
also. Yeah, literally to lose and then not even actually score ourselves, just the own goal. Wayne says 1-1 as well. Make sure to get your predictions if you haven't already. What else? Also, just to I was going to say about Ema, because Ema is meant to be fit for Saturday. Would you still go ahead and start Kilgore and Harries or Kilgore and Baldwin, or would you put Ema back in the side? What about you, Josh? What would you do? Would you keep him out?
Yeah, I would. I just can't at the moment. I think the break was probably what he needed to get sort of out of the limelight, being captain and everything. But I wouldn't install him back in just because of who he is and his status in the team. That being said, you could sort of what Jake was saying. You could sort of swap and change each centre back, but you still get the same outcome. So yeah. I don't think if he did come back in, it's gonna drastically improve us or drastically sort of make us any worse.
Yeah, completely agree. And I'm also guessing to obviously Jake Lewis and Chiz. I'm guessing you guys are the same. Is that a yeah?
50-50.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think Amo's not really the same player as we bought. I think when we play Gin all the time, I think we've got to play against him. He's a bit of a brute. I think he's the only player that probably kept Claris quiet. I think Tyler Smith scored last season, but the season before, kept him quiet. He's probably one of the better centre halves in the league last season. We haven't really seen that this season. He's looked soft and vulnerable. What I don't like about him, he always looks warm. He's always got his gloves on. Look at Tony Craig last season. He's playing in the rain. He's just got a short sleeve on. I don't really want my captain to be like that, but yeah, that's my thoughts on him.
Yeah. Jake, what about you? You was going to say something as well.
Yeah, I'm 50-50 on it. Like I said before, it's like it's difficult to word this with our defenders, but it's like being, I don't know, it's like either being punched in the face or punched in the gut. It's still going to hurt. It don't really kind of matter what defender you put in there. I think it all kind of depends on how, in a way, of how well or how badly we do tomorrow. I think I would sort of keep him out tomorrow, but then if it's not too great tomorrow, then maybe look to bring him back in. But I think Rovers need to, I say experience, but I think ideally if Rovers are looking to experience to try and get him out of trouble at the back, I think Amer and Baldwin have got to be your two centre-backs to go with in terms of experience. And but whether we'll go to that option, I don't think we will, because I don't think Barton's the type to drop Kilgore. But yeah, it's one of those. I think if we do okay tomorrow, then keep him out. But if it all goes a bit tits up, if you like, then put him back in for Tuesday.
Yeah, definitely. Chiz, what about you? Are you the same? Would you keep him out or would you take him in?
I would keep him out. My views on Emo. So yeah, I think it just hasn't worked out. He was obviously really good leader. All the Gillingham fans liked him. He had to move on, really, didn't he? And then it just for a lot of the players that we've brought in this season, it just hasn't worked out. I guess we've got to accept that it just doesn't, just happens sometimes that we brought in half the squad is maybe more is new, and they just haven't gelled properly, have they? It just hasn't worked at all, really.
Yeah, completely agree. I think he's probably been the worst signing this season. I think the problem is that he's far too slow. Like, especially when we play. It doesn't really matter what defender you play at the back, centre back. They're all pretty slow, and especially if you played like Ema and Kilgore together, they're just way too slow. And I think getting rid of Roland Mayonnaise and Craig was a massive issue. I really do, because they done really well, didn't they? Along with Kilgore under Graham Coughlin. So yeah, we've also got some more predictions. Charlie 1883 says 2-1 Gas as well. I know 2-1 Shrews actually. So yeah, there's a lot of people with the same thoughts as most of you. BRFC Tom being proper optimistic, 4-0 Rovers. Only if if we kept a clean sheet and scored over 1 goal, then I'd be buzzing. But yeah, that's pretty much the end of the stream. If anyone else wants to get any comments in before we end it, then feel free to get them in now. Obviously, I'll be doing the live stream if anyone wants to tune in tomorrow again. But yeah, apart from that, thanks to all of you that's tuned in the comments, and obviously everyone that's come on the live again. Really appreciate the support. If you want to be on next week, and you haven't already, then just drop me a message on Insta, Twitter, Facebook, whatever. But yeah, cheers for tuning in, people, and we'll see you on the next one. Up the gas.